Hello everyone, welcome to Urbanscape Bangalore, and in this episode we will be looking at growing dwarf dahlias for a burst of exuberant color in your garden. The name dwarf is to denote the size of this plant that will not grow more than 1 to 2 feet or 30 to 60 centimeters. They are native to Mexico and are related to daisies, zinnias, chrysanthemums and other such common flowering plants. These produce a single flower head per stem. The flowers come in wide variety of colors except blue. The flowers are very mildly scented, but the pollinators are generally attracted to the vibrant colors that this plant is famous for. The flower heads can grow really big depending on the variety of dahlia you choose, but today we will just be talking about the dwarf dahlias. So here I have this nursery bought dahlia which I'm planning to grow in this small yet broad terracotta container with a hole at the bottom. A lot of you must have seen dahlias growing in containers stuffed with other plants. They might look all splendid with other combination of plants, but in the long run it might lead to powdery mildew disease that commonly affects the dahlias, because the dahlias need proper air circulation to mitigate the powdery mildew issue. Hence, one plant per container will be ideal. And if you're growing this in the ground, make sure there is space between the plants. The dahlias grow from tubers, so this is how the tubers look like, almost resembling a sweet potato. So if you get this as tubers, the ideal time to plant this is in the beginning of spring. That could be in the month of February when the outside temperature becomes warm. In India and other tropical countries, you can grow this anytime except for the hot blazing summertime. But what I've generally noticed in my garden is that the plant kind of goes dormant during very hot summers. This does not like both extremities of climate, that is very hot or very cold. In frost affected areas, they go through winter dormancy, and we would need to remove the tubers just before frost and store them in a dry, warm place. My bigger dahlias generally bloom from August to February because these months are neither too hot nor too cold in a place like Bangalore. So as a thumb rule, grow the tubers when the outside temperature is slightly warm but not blazing hot. Now let's get to repotting this plant. I will be as usual placing some drainage materials at the bottom. So I'm using these broken tile pieces. Just make sure that these sharp edges of these tiles don't cut your finger, which in my case it did. Because while working with soil, if you get cuts, it isn't a very good thing. Wash your hand with soap immediately, wear a bandage and use a glove to prevent yourself from infections like tetanus. Now remove the plant slowly and check the root system. This is slightly pot bound, so tease the root a little, but make sure you don't break the soil completely. Because once I remember telling you guys to take off all the soil for a particular bougainvillea video. You can watch the video above or in the description box below. But what really happened was that after a few days the plant died. So never disturb the root ball of any shop-bought plant, because I had to learn it the hard way and you can learn from my silly mistakes. So here you can see that tubers as well. It looks really healthy. Now for the potting mix, I will be adding 30% compost, 10% neem mix, 40% sand and 20% coco peat, or you can use garden soil as well. Whatever medium you use, make sure that it is well draining, otherwise the tubers will rot in water-laden mediums. Now fill up the container up to a level and add the plant. Check to see the plant level. It must be 1 or 2 inches below the rim of the container. Backfill and water the plant immediately. You can use some liquid fertilizers to give the plant a boost of nutrients for a very good start. Now place the plant under either full sunlight or semi-shade. Full shade will definitely not give you those flowers you grow this plant for. Water consistently during summer and reduce watering during winter. Make sure you don't water the leaves, which might lead to powdery mildew infection, which can cause it to have these powdery substances on their leaves and the leaves curl up. Whiteflies are also a big problem in my garden with the dahlias. For the powdery mildew, you can either dilute milk and spray this in the afternoon times or add 1 tablespoon of baking soda in a liter of water and spray the plant during the evening times. Neem oil pesticide can take care of the whitefly problems. While spraying, it is important to spray the ground as well. It needs to be fertilized during the summer months with rich compost or kitchen organic waste. The more organically rich the soil, the better will be the blooming. I don't use any kind of synthetic fertilizers. Seaweed or fish fertilizer twice every month during summer will also do. Pinching of the flowers is essential to make this plant bloom repeatedly. With all this, please remember that no matter how much I say do this, do that, your plants will work in your garden only with the help of your experience with them, and nothing can replace the power of that. A gardener needs to spend time and understand his or her plant for him or her to grow them successfully. With this, we have come to the end of yet another episode of Urbanscape Bangalore. If you have any further queries on this plant, then do let me know by commenting below. Also, you can follow me on Instagram and Facebook for further updates. The links are also given below. So if you like this video, please like, share and subscribe. And until we meet again, goodbye.